Hello and welcome back to Joe's Math Tools. In our session today, we will be calculating the circumference of our circle when we're given the radius and we are using the radius formula, but our pi is equal to 22/7. And if you're ready to see how this is done, let's get started. So in our example today, we're calculating the circumference of our circle when our radius given to us is 15 millimeters, and we're using our pi at 22/7, and we are using the circumference formula for the radius. So we're going to begin by writing out our formula, and now we're going to begin our substitution. So we're multiplying our 2 times our 22/7, which is the value of our pi, times our radius of 15. Now, when multiplying our numbers, if you're not comfortable with working your numbers out as is, remember that you can always add the 1 in the denominator. However, you do not have to. If you are able to work out your fractions as is, by all means, feel no pressure in adding in your ones. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out all of my numerators together. So that's 2 times 22 times 15. And since I included the 1 in this case, I will include that in my multiplication. But if you didn't, remember that your denominator will just remain as 7. So you won't have to write in the 1 times 7. You just replace your 7. So now we're going to begin simplifying our numerators. And I'm going to begin by multiplying my first two numbers. And then I will multiply their product to my 15. So let's begin. We're multiplying 22 times 2. 2 times 2 will give us 4. 2 times 2 will give us 4. And now that I have gotten my 44 from multiplying my 2 times 2, I'm now going to take those two numbers, which is 44 and 15, and I'm going to multiply them together to get my final product. So I will have 44 being multiplied by 15. 5 times 4 will give me 20. I'll put my 0, carry the 2. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 2 will give us 22. We'll add in our 0 and then begin multiplying by my 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Let's sum these numbers together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 2 plus 4 is 6. So our new numerator after we've done multiplying is equal to 660, and we are keeping our denominator of 7. So at this point, we are now going to have to move into our long multiplication, and I know that, sorry, into our long division, and I know division is not usually a step that a lot of us likes. But when it comes to the circumference, for most of these questions, you will find that you will have to go into your long division, especially when they're using 22/7, because 7 tends to not always cancel out with a lot of numbers when it comes to the circumference, and long division is a step that you will not be able to avoid. So let's begin dividing. So we know that 7 can divide into 6, and 6 is less than 7. 7 times 0 is equal to 0. 6 minus 0 is equal to 6. We'll bring down that 6, changing 6 into 66. 6 will divide into 66 9 times. 9 times 7 is 63. 66 minus 63 will give us the difference of 3. We'll bring down our next 0, changing 3 into 30. 7 will divide into 30 4 times. 4 times 7 is equal to 28. When 30 subtracts 28, we have a difference of 2. Now that we're done multiplying with dividing by all the digits in our numerator, we are going to add in our decimal point in our dividend and our quotient. And remember that we're working with measurements, so we have to get our answer as accurate as we can. So I'm now going to add in another 0. Bring down that 0, changing 2 into 20, and I will divide the 2 digits behind my decimal point before I stop. So 7 will divide into 20. 2 times 7 is equal to 14. 20 subtracts 14 will give us a difference of 6. We're going to add in a 0. Bring down our 0, changing 6 into 60. 7 divides into 60 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56. And when 60 subtracts 56, we have a difference of 4. So I'm going to leave my answer at 2 digits behind my decimal point. And I'm going to say that my circumference is equal to 94 and 28 hundredths. Putting in my millimeters for my measurement, and I'm going to indicate that this is to 2 decimal places, or 2 points behind my decimal point. Okay, so there you have it. We just calculated the circumference of our circle. So make sure that you get some additional practice in with these type of questions, and I'll see you right here in the next video on Joel's Math Tools, where we make math easy.